it as a base, and I didn't expect it to dry that dark. I don't know why it surprises me. Acrylics tend to dry a little darker, but it was quite a bit darker. Jen's here. Hello. How are you? What are you working on? Jen is a wonderful writer, and she also has a great writing channel that you all need to check out if that's something you're interested in. Underneath here is where I was working. The first layer, I did one layer. Yeah, I did one layer with just regular acrylic, and I found it was just drying too fast. I couldn't work with it, and that's when I did that. So I started a second layer in this area. This is what I was working on yesterday, and I was hoping to get the rest of this finished. But my sweet dog decided that she was going to have a panic attack. And just FYI, there's a small storm rolling in right now. He seems to be doing okay. But if I get distracted and need to give him some attention just to calm him down, just FYI. I don't know how long this sprint, I'm so used to doing writing sprints. I don't know for sure how long this stream is going to last. Usually when I did these in another sketchbook, they would take about an hour, hour and a half. But I'm not going to guarantee that that's how long this one's going to take. Sorry if I keep talking too much and just not getting to work. I just want to make some stuff clear. I went ahead and mixed some paints. This is a glass palette with some neutral paper underneath it. I won't go through this on every live stream, but since this is our first one, I mixed a standard flesh tone. I know this looks much darker than the master that's up there. And part of that is because acrylic dries darker, and part of it's the lighting also. But I'm gonna be working anyway. I mixed up a basic flesh tone, which is just red, yellow, and just a touch of blue, and it gives you kind of this dark orangey. And then you mix it with white. I did a dark, which is what I used in here, and that is ultramarine blue and burnt umber mixed together, and it gives you a nice dark. I've got a bottle or jar of, let me show you. You can get this really, really dark, and it makes a much more interesting. See how dark that is? It makes a much more interesting. That looks really blue. A much more interesting dark color than if you just use a black or a dark brown. I do have a dark brown here. It's like a, as you can see, that I can use if I need to help aid. Because these acrylics I'm using are a variety of quality. Some are student grade. I'm trying to use up my supplies is what it is. Let me just go ahead and I'll just spritz that real quick. This is going to be, ooh, I really got that wet. This is all going to be changed color. It's all going to be closer to this color, maybe a little lighter. This will be available on replay. And the reason I wet it is so that it glides on there. It doesn't soak directly into the paper. And there's going to be times where I'm not going to speak very much because it's a little like walking and chewing gum. And I'm using this small brush because this Van Gogh is very smooth and detailed. And I don't want to show a lot of brush strokes. I want it to be smooth, and because the acrylic dries quicker. To do a technically a actual master study, this would be done in the same materials that they use, that the original work is done in, and done the same size. And obviously that's not what's happening here. I need to get this other red out here. I need more of a scarlet red. I did not add any propylene glycol to that red. It's just a little, yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to use things up. Let's see, where am I? Eyeballs. We need to get the eyeballs in. Oh, pardon me. Allergies are playing. I hear thunder outside. That may make my dog freak out. He's very nervous. He's coming over here right now. There can be a lot of variation in the colors that you see from the original. If you hear scratching in the background, it's Poncho scratching at the carpet. He's getting nervous. But a lot of things can, he's hiding. A lot of things can vary. The color of the reproduction, the color on your screen. I really like getting art books to work from. I'm assuming that the color matching is much closer to the original, especially more of the contemporary books. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's just what I assume. And if budget is a thing, Half Price Books is a wonderful place to go to. We don't have one near here. I have to go to Wichita, which is a couple of hours away. But usually when I go with an idea of everything that I need. And hope that they have it. You can't always find it in the store, but they do have a website. Which is and there's also thrift books. I love thrift books. Takes a little while sometimes to get the books. You're okay, baby. You're okay. So this is more of just a copy. It's not really a master copy. Ideally, you would have the exact colors to work from, which is why people go into museums and like to paint from the originals. There is a cassette that is in the Wichita Art Museum that I just absolutely love. But I don't believe they allow you to take paints in. Because just the mess that it can make. Sometimes museums will have things after hours that you can go do. You just have to check with the museum. And anytime I do a master study, I make sure that I give the original artist credit. I don't want to Poncho's distracted me. I don't want it to be perceived that this is an original. And that's one reason I always post when I do these in videos that it's for educational purposes only. And I'll write down here exactly what it is, who it's after, and materials that I used versus what they used. Poncho, you're okay. And I see I got like this edge. This edge is not right, but I can fix that when I come in with a background color on there. Man, he's really freaking out back there. I'm putting a little more of a yellow hue tint in that. And I don't know if you just saw that, but that white was still wet, which is unusual for acrylics. But it's because I put that propylene glycol in there. Get on the screen. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate it. I wish I had been able to start with a right from the start. You know what I mean? Showing how to draw it out and whatnot. But next time. Maybe next time. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll wing it. That's more purple. Blue. I found images of this online, and the colors varied so much. I did not find it in my textbooks, in my books. And I just got a new to me Degas book, and it didn't have it in there. Why am I not getting this gray color like I want? I'm going to need to mix up a lot of that, so maybe this is just temporary. Oh, my head's not in the way. This is just to get the edge in there while I'm working on the give it a little spritz. That was my weather app. Lightning struck 20 kilometers. I don't know why it told me in kilometers, but it did. His eye looks a little off to me, but that's how he did it, so I'm going to go with it. I don't know if you can hear that rumbling. Every once in a while I'm turning and looking at the screen because I have you okay, baby? Because I have my MacBook over to the side with StreamYard on it. I could be on screen, but I figure having the work up there is more important. might have got that eyebrow a little too, the brow part, this right here, I got it too wide. So I'll have to fix that. I really like Alice Neal, Sargent. So those will be coming up. I think Sargent's probably my own Freud. Lucian Freud. Just very juicy work. I have some I've done of his in another sketchbook. I'm going to make this one, this particular sketchbook, nothing but figurative studies, master studies. I hope I can be doing this every Monday through the new year. I think it would be good exercise for me. The red in the lips that he uses, I know I'm kind of skipping around here. I should have done the other eye. But the red that he uses is not the same red I had in my palette. So his is a warmer. Just a tip too, if you're using your iPad for your reference photo, make sure you clean your screen off, because I have a dot on my screen right there. And yesterday I tried to paint it, and it was a dot on my, it was dirt on my screen. I tend to use my iPad a lot in the studio. This is going slower than I had anticipated. But anyway, I get things on the screen and then I'm a very messy painter. Although this looks like it's going slow and methodical. It's not usual for me. It's not my typical. Let's just sneak up on that eye, shall we? And ideally, if I were to be really persnickety about this, I probably would do an entirely new layer down here. because if nothing else, this cheekbone is this red. I may still do that. I'm finding all this yellowish very distracting, but I need to get that eye done. I do. Ooh, I did some splotches. Splotches. That's a technical term. I'm hearing thunder again too. Usually I use a brush. Oops, my palette knife just fell. I use a brush that's at least this wide. This is a Saks 6 flat. I think it's just a flat. And then I have some Rosemary & Co. This 3/8 of an inch comb. I prefer to use it. So me using something this small is unusual, but I think this calls for it. If you're in the US, don't forget to vote tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. Just make sure you vote. Do your civic duty. I kind of wish I had voted early. I told myself I wanted the experience of doing it on that day. And now my nerves are working themselves into a frenzy. So I should have probably done it before. And this right here is why I need to use a small brush on this. Let's see what those blend together. And that's why I use the propylene glycol. pinker red. If you know, you know. Whoops, dropped my rag. There's some interesting highlights over here by the ear. I know I just completely left that eye alone. But not real sure I'm going to be able to get it satisfactory color. Let's see. And that tub of paints that I show you, I don't know if you can see it on the, they're up there. I just leave the cover off of it while I'm working. If I was doing my own piece, I would start out with really big brush strokes with a bigger brush and then work down to the details. But in this case, I'm just looking at the screen to make sure everything's cool. It's probably not the best way for me to work. I think the next one we need to do something with like a Lucian Freud or something that's a Sargent where you can really see the brush strokes and I don't know why I started doing some hair. It's just I need to block that in, I guess. Got that too high too. And again, I'm hearing thunder, so. It shouldn't interfere with my internet, knock on wood. Although it went out the other day and it was not storming at all. But my husband noticed a Cox cable truck in the neighborhood, so that same day. Afterwards. And I believe I said I was going to be using those Nova colors. I think I'm going to have to take that back on these studies and do just do whatever works. Meaning sometimes it'll be in oils. Sometimes it might be oil pastel. I really love oil pastels here lately. There's just something about them. They stay workable. You can get really cool marks. So far, this is not one of the top master studies I've ever done. But, you know, sometimes we just have to get through the bad to get the good. It's all learning, right? And now I went through and I put white on that. I know I did. White must be drying really transparent. Need to get her little corner of the eye. I want to do all of them in this book so that I can look back and just be able to flip through it and just say, yeah, this is how this person did this. Just more for myself. I took a class, it was an online class through the Museum of Modern Art on modern art, and or was it just on abstract? Anyway, and I put them all in one book, and it's just kind of cool to flip through it and see. It was very different work. It was like Hans Hofmann and ones of that nature. And I'm seeing, I don't know if you're seeing it, but this eye, maybe, I don't know. I started saying maybe it's too high. One great thing about working from photos too, or on your digital device, is you can turn this and look at it from a different perspective. So I could see proportions and things a little bit better in comparison. And does this line up with this? If you can have the piece right next to your work too, it helps. Like if it was like right here or right there, you don't have to do the looking up and down, which sometimes causes you to lose information. Just the way the human brain works. And a lot of times I'll take a photo and flip it around on my phone and look at it, flipped mirror image. Sometimes that'll help. That yellow is really distracting me. I think what I'm going to do, ooh, the rag's getting pretty raggy. All this yellow is distracting me. I think it's making it look a lot more yellow too on the screen. So what I'm going to do is mix up a bunch of background. I had a grandson send me a bunch of reference photos the other day. He took me when he was on a ride with his mom. I might, although that wouldn't be a master study, would it? So rumbling and thundering out there. Poor Poncho. I need to make a sign that says like "Be right back" or yeah, that's helping. It's helping me anyway. Sort of, I'm making sort of a periwinkle blue instead of a gray. I'm not complaining about it. It's just, it's interesting. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:52 p.m.
So we've been going at it for about an hour. I don't know if you heard Google and said it's 1:52. Um, don't know. Almost looks like he used more of a Zorn palette on here than what I'm using. I should have noticed that. And I'm just laying this in here so that it's less distracting for me. These edges can be changed. Like this right here, that's not going to stay that way, obviously. Because her hair. This is going to be up for replay. So, and since this is the first one of these, I've tried to do these before, but I've always had technical difficulties of some sort, and it drove me crazy. Since then, I've gotten a new Mac. And it's helped a lot. I know I've seen some live painters do like 3-hour lives. So I think you get a lot more information as an artist by watching something long like that than something that's been chopped up to make the algorithm happy. So this may not necessarily get a lot of views right now, but it'll be there. It'll be available for all of history. And I will say, this particular painting did not have any information on it, so he very well could have done this in pastel, but it looks like it's on canvas. So He did use black, so I am as well. He probably would have used oils if he did paint this with paint. Obviously, because of when it was painted, when it was created. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this all in with black. She has kind of like a lacy looking top on. I'm hoping, since I put that extender in here, that it will allow me to do a little finagling in here. Into this black. Ooh, did you hear that? That rumble. Here I said I wasn't going to talk much, and it seems like that's all I do. And once this dries, I can go back over it with black and really make those the details more defined. Or I could just do it once. I just mixed up this the propylene glycol in there the day before yesterday. So technically I'm still getting used to it, but because it is a little bit different. Apparently she's wearing a necklace with black beads. see me reaching over, it's because I'm reaching over to get the black in there. I think changing that, even though it's more of a purplish, helped me. I need to probably go back over it with a bluer. But we'll just keep moving. Just keep moving. I wish I could play music while I was doing this, because usually that's what I do. Oh, another thing you can do. What did I do with it? Use a mirror. What did I do with my mirror? It's usually hanging on my easel. It's not. Oh, there it is. It was on my easel. But you can look at it upside down too and get a different viewpoint just to see if it's working. I see. This needs to. It's really rumbling out there. Her eyebrows are too dark. So we'll fix that. Give all that a little spritz. I used to work on commissions and did portraits, and I just found it way too stressful. That helped it though. Even though I like doing these master studies, which is essentially copying somebody else, there's just something about being forced to paint. Yeah, because I chose this painting. There's just something about being forced to do something to somebody else's liking that just really took the fun out of it for me. So I quit doing them. And I mean, I really took a hit financially because of it, but mentally it really was the right move. I know I started out working on the ear, and now I'm over here at the eye, but if you work in one spot, it can become too tight. I think what my problem with on this eye is that one line, that one area right in here. And I want you to notice too, my acrylic paint is still wet on my palette, which is an amazing thing. It's this whole area, her whole flesh tone is just too bright to me. I'm gonna change up my water jar too. Now I've got a clean jar. Oh, put that down there. It wasn't my palette knife that fell. It was my spoon I used for my propylene glycol. I definitely don't want Poncho to get into it. I'm losing my flesh tone in there. See, that's too yellow. And if I look on the screen, it's just, yeah. It's like the white is drying too transparent. And I have to keep applying it. To get the values that they should be. I'm going to go out and smooth these out. I'm just putting these there. See, there, I lost that again. It could very well be the extender I put in. It's causing it to do that. I mean, I don't know if you can see the texture that's building up here on this white. Because I have to keep reapplying it. This is much lighter in here. I may just leave that without blending it out totally. Just see what it does. Because it's not staying the value that I need. She's getting kind of a Joan Crawford eyebrow there. Let's calm that down. Calm down, Joan. Calm down. This is more of a wash, but just trying to see what it. Yeah, it's pretty bright. Let's calm you down. Doing your Joan Crawford eyebrow. And your Betty Davis Baby Jane blush. That looks better. At least on screen it looks better. On my screen. This is darker than it should be. So I'm going to mix them up. Sorry if my head gets in there. Put a little bit of white in there. Just kind of lighten it up. She's got a it's not green. Came up with a like a fleshy green. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This needs to go up more in here. fleshy in there. I haven't quite adjusted to the fact that acrylics dry darker. I think I need to start getting some of her hair in there because his forehead. It's looking a little iffy. I'm going to switch over to a larger brush. It's got kind of a yellow ochre. I do not have any, but I made some. Get this in there. I know that's brighter than what I need it to be, but that's okay. I'm going to mush it in with some darker, because like this right here is shadow. I don't know what kind of hat she's wearing there, but her hairband. The sun's coming out here. Ooh, looks a little hornish, doesn't it? She got horn on her head. Let's knock that back. There we go. I'm just going to keep working. If I need to get up and take a, oh shoot, the light that's coming through the window is making it really hard for me to see my iPad. There's a glare. Really bad glare. I don't like that. As long as the storm was here, it was cloudy, and I could see it okay. Now I can't. I can barely see my iPad image. I may need to call this and finish it next week. The light doesn't change on me. I can't. There's a definite glare. Kind of has a fuzzy, her hair has like a fuzzy appearance right there. This right here is wrong. Do you see her eyes are too big? And they're just, yeah. I will say these usually do not take me this long, but I think the added pressure of doing this on the screen or, online, live, and dealing with this, a different material is making it. I'm going to try something here, see if that'll get rid of my glare. Got this window blind thing that fits over. Helps. I'm going to do the moving it around. You won't be able to see the image on the screen move, aside from my work. because it's stationary on my. What I've done is I've turned my image this way. I'm going to work on her ear. Here, her ear here. I think this eye looks so large because I didn't get the flesh tone up high enough. Underneath. So it looks like her eyes. Colors are getting all muddled on my palette. Let's see. I'm going to try and paint this a little lighter in hopes that it turns out. Dries dark enough. I think I've got her ear. Yeah, I do. I've got her ear too large. Putting that blinder up on my window helped a lot with glare. Now that the sun's out. I do not have anything to do on my schedule this afternoon until about 4 o'clock. So I am just going to keep on working. I find this very relaxing. I have ADD, and this helps me kind of block out all the stuff. Sort of like a meditation. My water's getting low in my spritzer. Let me turn this upside down. Oops. My heater is coming on. So if you hear that in the background, I love that this is still workable. It's still wet, just enough to allow me to blend a little. Don't see. I'm not seeing the ear form the way I want. I do see now the bottom of the ear. I did not see it. The other way it was. And the more I look at this, the more I think he used his Zorn palette. Which I'm not using. And that would account for the differences I'm seeing now. And the Zorn palette is black, yellow ochre, and cadmium red, I believe, and white. Don't know where that old white dot came from. Oh, I see. She's got like a little I don't know if it's a little stud or if it's probably just part of her earring that goes down there. Woo! Hit my lights. Okay, let me see this right side up. I'm sure there's going to be more needed. Paints are starting to get dry on my palette. And it's to the point This was not the easiest one to start this with either. I should have done, if I had been smart, I would have started with an easier one. For these. But no, I had to go with this one. I need to get some of this hair in here. That worked out rather well, if I do say so myself. It's not perfect. This, I think, is too dark. This in here, this whole thing needs to be like just a dark flesh color. So I'm going to mix some fresher up. A little blue. Okay. Now we're getting closer. Now I have like a glare on the paper. This is just gessoed paper. Smidge of white in there. This definitely needs to be lighter. Edie, hello. How are you? If you're watching the replay, I do have chat open on the. And there are people coming in and out. One reason I started to want to do these is I have the subscriber count, but I do not have the hours that I need for what I want to do. See how much darker this whole area looks on the original? I'm hoping it will dry a little darker, being acrylic. Maybe I just need to make that one part darker. I'm I'm looking at the long game for these videos and not not expecting a huge amount of people at first. That's but since I do have over 1,000 subscribers. It should eventually help my hours. I've been slacking on doing videos. And so I want to make up for that. Yeah, Edie, everything's going pretty well. I'm Pancho. You heard him in the background. Yeah. This is going to be a rough week in America with the election and all. No matter what way you vote. How does that shade look on camera? That looks a lot closer, doesn't it? But we'll make it through. And because this has a lot of the white put in there with that blue, it is probably going to dry darker. Because my white is drawing very transparent. These acrylics were mixed with propylene glycol, if you missed the first of it, to extend the dry time. And I have until about 4 o'clock my time, which is central. So I could go a couple of hours. Where are you from, Edie? I don't remember seeing you before. Yeah, that's a lot closer. That's going to be a problem. And by problem, I mean like right in here. It's her hair is. I haven't worked on this area at all, and I know there's some more work to do on the portrait itself. But this color in the background is distracting me. That squeak you hear is my chair. Just so you know. I think I got that too big. Maybe. That needs to go back. Just trying to center it a little better. I was saying, I'm betting Degas, if he painted this, he probably used a Zorn palette, which I did not. And that's if he painted it. It's just me cleaning my brush. Maybe I need to get some family member to make me some copyright free music to have in the background. I have a number of grandchildren that are musical, but I don't know if I could talk them into making me some music or not. See, he's got like a shadow there. This is not so sharp. Try and get that head. This kind of goes like that. I am seeing, oops, a lot of issues on it. I picked up the screen, the MacBook, so I could really look at them next to each other. There's the features are not as delicate as what he has to me. But His edges are much softer than what I have. That doesn't go there. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 3:05 p.m.
That was Google saying it is 3:05 p. Oh wait, is that? Yeah, we had our time change over the weekend. And it looks like it's right. Normally I could take a picture on my phone and flip it, do a mirror image, and catch things, but not to make excuses. Ah, heck, let's make excuses. That's what I'm filming with, is my phone. This part, anyway. I've actually done more talking this time than I expected. I'm going to just keep working until I need to run that errand. I could finish right now and be but I'm just going to keep going and working on it because I see a lot of things that could be improved. This in here is too dark still. Do a wash on it. Maybe it'll. Maybe it'll lighten it up. Now it may look like the white or the color that I'm putting on is far too light, but it's drawing very transparent. I think that needs a darker. Whoops. See, normally I would be sitting here doing this anyway. So, oops, I want it darker, not lighter. Um, I'm just doing it on camera. I've got a still life set up that I'm working on my easel. And I can't decide if I want to do if I want to do oils or acrylics on it, and if I want to do it in my sketchbook or on canvas. But I think what I'm going to do is, well, I know I'm going to do is this whole sketchbook is going to be she's got kind of a bump right there, doesn't she? Right here. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. But I think it's going to be separate from this. In person, I will say it looks much better than it does on camera. But I also know that we are in a world of social media. So it's how it looks on camera that matters at the moment. There we go. Get in there. I'm just kind of dry brushing over that to get it lightened down a little bit. I know I got her neck a little wider than it probably is on screen or on the original. So let's see what we can do about that. Again, this is going to dry very transparent. In this area. So it will be fine. Poncho's calming down underneath the table. So this is good. He gets pretty nervous about storms and things. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Let's see, what have we missed? So what are you all working on? Let me know in the comments. What is your current goal, or what are you working toward? Do you have a particular project that you're passionate about right now, or that you're excited about? I've been watching a lot of Sandy Hester's. If nothing else, it's just very positive. And I like her energy. I'm trying to darken this up some because it's become too much. Too much of a high point of a highlight, and I don't want that. See, I think those two are the two dots right here are too high. Oops, just got paint on my other page. No biggie. We just won't tell anybody, will we? I think her face is too wide in comparison to the original. And that's just unfortunate. I realize it at this point. One problem with using a wash in very delicate areas is that sometimes that water will come down the barrel of the paintbrush and make a splotch. We don't want splotches. And I don't know if you can tell, but once again, that white has gone away. Wonder if I can do away with a little bit more of that Joan Crawford eyebrow there. This is, as I said before, this is not my favorite master study that I've ever done. But, you know, big scheme of things, I'm not going to worry about it too bad. Because it's pretty close. My problem too is on the camera. The timer on StreamYard is right in the middle of this area. So I can't see to compare it. So I'm not sure about the shape of this. I don't know if she's got like a hairnet on or if her hair is like up in kind of a bun. I do see that this is much, much lower than what I've got. It's more like right there. Some of these marks on the shirt could be more defined. And I've got them as more of a white, and he has them more of a kind of a tan, like maybe that's a lace. I just remembered I didn't put those back on there. That one's more there. That one's more there. And that one's more there. I hope everybody's staying healthy and safe. Oops, I want one of those bloops. I'm just taking a moment to sit back and kind of look at what I've got. So it needs. I know I darkened that up, but there's a mark right through here. It's kind of a yellowish. I need black on there to help kind of. That is black. Times 232. Okay. So I've still got about 30 minutes. I could pick at this, and so I think I am going to. Now I don't remember why I have this on my brush. Welcome to my brain. Just the simple act of going from here to there. I don't remember. That is a whiter highlight. See, there's a little highlight down here. I think it's one of the pearls or beads that she's got on. And then I'm going to take my brush, just so it's not just a dot. I hope everybody had a great Halloween. Those of you that celebrate it, I love Halloween. It's just one of those holidays that's just fun. You know, you don't have to travel a long distance unless you want to. You don't have to do a whole lot. But you can just sit back and watch people have fun. I know you can sometimes people enjoy it more if they have children, but even if you don't, you know, there's enjoyment to be had. Even if you're by yourself, you can go buy a big old bag of candy and go crazy. Which kind of reminds me of the woman on TikTok with the rug. I don't know who all saw that, but I was glued to TikTok that day. For a couple of days there. I'll admit it. It was just, I mean, it was great how it turned out. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't had the pleasure of watching the videos on TikTok. But it was definitely interesting. Great time of year for it. I don't think she planned it. I think it was legitimate. She didn't know what was happening. Maybe I'm naive, but I really enjoyed the suspense. And I see I made this part too long. This space. At least it looks like it online. Maybe I just need to soften some of this on either end and see if that will help. There is a maybe I need to bring that up some. I can do that easily enough. And then bring the black up some. This is just water on my brush here. Yep, I think I need to. Because this space is right. It's this space down here that's off. So let's bring it up to about right there. I won't always take 2 hours on these. I guess it'd be 3 hours, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let me see here. I think this area in here is too sharp. I need more of this color brought down. I have that color still on my palette. Oops. I think that just looks, the edge is too sharp. It's too clean in there. I'm going to go in just with water. And kind of soften that edge. The great thing too about this being on YouTube, the actual length, is that you can always fast forward and speed it up, go back and look at something a little closer if you want to. Whereas if I had just put it, edited it to be a fast one, just the speed throughs of my own. It can limit the information that you can get. Woo, that was a bit too much there. Come here, baby. Just a little blip right there. I think that other one's too big too. Although it looks like a small detail, it can make a difference on how close it looks to the original. I'm missing this little curl area. Oh, it's 248 here. Right in here. That other one goes up. The great thing about having these paints in that container like I do is I can just spritz the whole thing and put the lid on, wash my brushes out, and I am done for the day. I am gonna. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 3:50 p.m.
Let's see, how does that look? Okay, I'm definitely gonna need to be finishing it up. I'm just getting a few more hairs in there. Oops, I didn't get any on my. Still didn't. There we go. And I wish I could see more of what's going on in those shadows. But I can't. Up in here, I mean. This area of her hair bothers me. I could sit and pick at this for a long time. I think I got the weight of the back of her hair. I'm doing kind of a glaze on here, that reddish orange that's so prevalent in her, on her ear. Just trying to make sure I have the shape of her ear there. highlight right here. A little bit of one right there. I'm hoping that white get some of this orange yellow here. Sorry, I really like it. I know this is going to sound bizarre, but I really like it when the red shows up on the ear like that, the light shining through it. I just think it's visually appealing. And I am gonna wrap this up. Just seeing little things here and there that I could just keep picking away at. I got 2 minutes. I think my husband's coming home. There's a little variation in this background. So I'm gonna, yeah, I'm pretty sure my husband's coming in. Perfect timing. I'm gonna call that it. Thank you for watching, you all. If you're on the replay, I would appreciate a thumbs up or make a comment. Sorry about Poncho. I will write down on here what it is, and I will see you next time. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
You just want me to go by myself? Or do you want to go?